Hi guys, how you guys doing? Thank you so much for tuning in to my number 4 CNA tip videos. The last video I had left off with gossip. Gossip is something that's going to happen at the workplace for different reasons. I can attempt to try to name it all, and I won't be able to name it all because at the end of the day, people just gossip just because they could gossip, you know. But one thing I can say is that if you hear something that pertains to your client falling, whatever marks on them, and the gossip ties in with the mark that you see, then that is something that you should report. At the end of the day, you don't want to entertain the conversation because the gossip that's given to you is going to be the same thing that's given to somebody else about you, if that makes sense. And emotionally invested in gossip is just very hard to get out of, and I don't want that for anybody, especially if you're being like, somebody's giving you one story and that same person giving somebody else another story, and it just doesn't make sense. It's just, you see through you just see through it. Trust me, it's not worth it. If a client's gossiping, have a collective answer with your investigating nurse and your agency to tell the reason why you need a collective answer is because some clients cannot take rejection well. I don't know if it's because it's their mind, their age. Rejection sometimes triggers behavior issues, jealousy issues. There's so many problems that comes with the client getting rejected. It sets them off. So I know for me, my investigating nurse and the agency collectively decided to tell the client, here's a number, any situation, any issues, anything that you observe that is not okay with my client, call the office and let them know. And that's something that I had to do. With other coworkers, do not entertain it. Don't, because at the end of the day, if the client fell, you would know. You would see a mark on the client. If the coworker didn't tell you that the client fell, then that's on them, that's not on you. And you're not going to go back and forth because you're not a supervisor, you're not a boss, you're not an investigating nurse. You're there to do your job and to report any changes. So you're doing your job. Because one thing I do know in the past is where that person's telling you stories and that same person's telling somebody else stories on you. And I've had different experience where I was in the client's home, I was cleaning, washing the client's clothes, cooking, doing all that good stuff, and I was still being talked bad about in my face. Oh, you're the only one that do your work here. But behind me, oh, she's using the client soap. She's always washing clothes. Oh, she don't cook the meal right. This is what she cooked for the client. And it was a lot of he say, she say. And at the end of the day, I was a little bit invested to the point I was upset, and I did feel some type of intimidation. But I realized that I'm taking care of my client. I'm doing the best in my abilities to make sure my client is well taken care of. And I'm in tune with the office, meaning if there's any changes, anything that the clients need, I will report it. So that gossip is basically no need for it. There's no need for it. So I just left it at that. And if a coworker came to me about another coworker, I would just say, you know what, go talk to that coworker, or I would say, you know what, I'm not entertaining this right now. I'm taking care of my client, and I just go about my business. And I had to say that because, as I explained to you, what they would do. The next thing is when you're cooking a meal for your client, ask them what they want. No, you already know their routine, but you always ask them what they want. Just to know that you're doing the right thing for them and you're doing something that they want and need. You're not doing something that you think they want and need. There was this thing with my client where, again, that ties down with the gossip, where my client had a simple breakfast, and it was routine. Like, some people cannot eat the same thing every day. Some people just cannot. I'm one of those individuals. But my client of mine, They wanted that particular meal every single day. And if they didn't have it, they had an off day. Don't know why, but that's how they were. And I was talked about saying that this is what I cooked because I was too lazy to cook breakfast for them. And mind you, I will cook dinner for them and they will let me know what they want to eat and I'll make sure they have it and I'll cook it. If it was like a 3-course meal, they were straight. I'll make sure they had the dessert, they had their salad, they had the main course. They were good. But they didn't see that. They seen when I was cooking the breakfast, they really was emphasizing that I was doing this. The one simple thing that my client wanted, they said I was just basically too lazy to cook a good breakfast, and it wasn't the truth. And if somebody came in and cooked like maybe a 5-course meal breakfast for them, they would, oh, this is what the person did. And then you hear that my client, this happened to her, this happened to her, this has happened to her, because my client is a very simple client. And there's certain foods you cannot give my client because it will cause the client to aspirate. And I don't have to go into details, but just do what your client asks for and know your client. And if somebody's going to gossip about how you do your job, let them gossip. If they come to you, you let them know. You let them know. But asking them what they want for breakfast, what they want for lunch, they want for dinner is very important. Even what they want for snacks, that's very important. If you're in a home setting, maybe group homes, that's a question mark because sometimes they will cook one meal for everybody. But if they had like a health restriction, they wouldn't cook the same thing for everybody. It would be different. So I remember working in a group home, I did have a client that had a 24/7 trach on her, and she needed to eat blended foods, and the other clients could eat solid foods. So again, it's different for everybody. So I know nursing homes, rehabs, they will have like the meal already prepped out for everybody, but they would do low sodium, low sugar, pureed, or just cut up, depending on the person how they can digest food. And if they're prone to choking, they'll make that food different texture, but they'll make the same food, if that makes sense. But if you're in a home setting, you have more of a liberty to ask them what they want to eat and cook that for them. So if somebody come to you or complaining about you to your supervisor, if it's another coworker, and if the supervisor is always going to come to you if it's something important, it's something serious. But if it was a complaint to your supervisor asks you, why did you cook this, why you didn't cook that, you just let the supervisor know they wanted that. The other thing, make sure if you're sick and your family's sick, you make sure you guys are taken care of. If you're the sole provider of your family, or you're the one that take care of your family, you're just and you're just not feeling well, you can't go into work, then call off. That sounds really, really bad, but that's my best advice because it's a cycle. You want to end that cycle of sickness. It goes back to the other videos that I made talking about how people sanitize, how people clean. Everybody clean differently. Everybody have a different viewpoint of wearing gloves and how they could stop the spread of germs and bacteria. Some people are just different and it's not okay, but you just know that if you're sick, your immune system is compromised, make sure you're taking care of yourself and take care of your family and then go back to work, because that job is always going to be there. That job is always going to be there. Okay? That job will always be there. There's a lot of different cases where people have lost their lives because they've been working, not taking care of themselves, and their family is left alone, and that client has another person working for them. And that person that is lost is just lost for no reason because they was working and not taking care of themselves. If your family is sick, please take care of your family. Make sure your family is healthy before you go back to work. Yes, you are an asset. Yes, you are needed. Yes, the client is relying on you. You cannot be there for the client if you're not feeling well. You cannot be there for your client if your family's not feeling well. And you cannot be there for your family or yourself if you don't feel well. So if you're sick, your family's sick, please, I beg you, please make sure you build your immune system up. You are healthy and your family is healthy and you go back to work. Sometimes the client could get you sick. Sometimes, it's just the weather, a food that you ate, whatever the case may be, you just get sick. Make sure you are well taken care of because at the end of the day, they will find somebody to come in for that client to be taken care of. If the client has a fever, if the client is not feeling well that day, you report it and let them know because at the end of the day, it can be a life or death situation for you or the client. Sometimes you have a family member that has a very weak immune system where they cannot tolerate certain common colds, or yourself cannot tolerate it. And if you contract whatever the client has, you give it to your family. Your family is going to be the family is going to be relying on you. You cannot go into work like that. You won't be able to concentrate. You won't be able to provide good quality care to your client if you're thinking about your family being sick. Nobody's going to watch your children if they're sick. You need to be home with them and take care of them. So when it comes to sickness, if you're sick, your family's sick, call off. That sounds really bad, and I understand that if you don't come to work, you don't get paid. That is something that is very serious, and I feel like, especially for CNAs, something need to change for CNAs because CNAs go through a lot. We're like the bottom of the barrel. We go through a lot. I know certain nurses that are RN, LP, and depending on the facility that they work, they get salary. So if they don't come to work because of a sickness that day or 2 days, they'll still get paid. They'll just have to work and make up those hours. But CNAs, home health aide, they don't get paid if they don't come to work. So I really pray that somehow, some way, there is a solution that comes to that because we do a lot. And when we're sick and we're not there for our client, there's something that is missing. There's something that is wrong. So that was my tips for you guys for the tip video number 4. I'll put number 8, but number 4, I hope it was beneficial. Some of these tips, you could use it in a nursing home setting, rehab setting, hospital setting, but I'm mostly pertaining to home settings. But I will make other videos that pertains to the hospitals, nursing home, rehabs. God willing, we'll see. Let me not say it. I'm just gonna do it. But yeah, please take care of yourself, guys, especially now with this whole, please take care of yourself. Please put your family first because that is your first ministry, is your family. Make sure they're straight. Make sure they're well taken care of. And if you're sick, please do not go into work when you're sick because you're going to cause your client to get sick. Your client's going to get somebody else sick. That other person is going to get somebody else sick. Get somebody. It's just a non-stop cycle. So if you could stop the cycle, please. And pray. Guys, pray. Anything and everything, whatever it is, guys, it could be the smallest thing that you cannot see. It could be the biggest thing that you observe and you understand. Give it to God. Give it to Jesus because at the end of the day, He will take care of your needs. He will provide for you. He will provide safety. If you call upon His name, He's there for you. He's there for you right now. He's there for you right now. Just call upon His name. He's just going to, not like my glasses that just flew off, but He's going to fly to your rescue. He's going to fly to your rescue, okay? He loves you. He wants to protect you. He wants to provide for you. Pray for your job, where you work, for your client's family, your co-workers, whatever the situation may be. Just put God first in everything you do. And if you find yourself sick, just tell God that I'm sick. And Lord Jesus, I need to take care of my family because, you know, I need to pay the babysitter. I need to pay my bills. I need to make sure my kids have food in their belly, clothes on their backs, shoes on their feet, activities that they need to go through, my tithes and offering, all of that good stuff. You tell God, you pray about it. He already knows, okay? He already knows, but just pray about it and you know, ask Him for wisdom and you know, ask the Lord what you could do and just tell Him what you need, and He's just gonna. I'm here, baby. I got you. So thank you for watching my videos. I hope this was informative. Any tips you want to give me that I left out and you want to elaborate more on it, please let me know. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye. God bless. Love you. Like, share, and subscribe. See you later. Bye.